Li Ka-shing is one of the most powerful persons in Asia. He is one of the top 5 richest people in the continent and the wealthiest person in Hong Kong. He is the chairman of the Hong Kong-based conglomerate called CK Hutchison Holdings Limited, which owns substantial holdings in diverse sectors like telecom, ports, retail, infrastructure, energy and others. For someone with a regal influence in a wide range of businesses, Li Ka-shing had humble beginnings. Li Ka-shing was born on June 13, 1928 in Chaozhou, Guangdong, China. China was in constant war with Japan when Li Ka-shing was in his elementary school. To safeguard the family, which was constantly in a war zone replete with dropping of bombs, the family shifted base to Hong Kong. Li's father, who was a primary school principal, passed away due to tuberculosis when he was 14. Since he was the sole earner in the family, the sense of loss was compounded with no food and shelter for the family. Li had to drop out of school to fend for his family. He wondered if this was destiny and if he had it in him to change his destiny again. He decided that he would create his future on the basis of solid planning. After dropping out of school, Li started working in a plastic factory where he had to work 16 hours a day making plastic watch straps even after hard labor. The pennies that he earned was not enough to give a comfortable life for the family. Their situation started getting worse with the passing days, and the worst happened when Li himself was diagnosed with tuberculosis. He had to be isolated so as to not spread the infection, and times became so rough that the family had to sell his late father's clothes to feed themselves and pay for Li's medicines. Just a year was enough to instill a sense of fighting back into Li Ka-shing's mind, and he was back in the game to prove his capabilities to the world. After recovering, Li resumed working in the plastics factory. He quit his job there in the year 1950 when he was 22 years old and decided to start his own business. After quitting his job in the plastic factory, Li wanted to start his own business of making plastic dolls. His idea was soon improvised when he heard that plastic flowers were in great demand in the markets of Italy. That was when he decided to grab the opportunity and started his own business in manufacturing plastic flowers for export to foreign countries. Li named his first company Chung Kong, a factory that would make plastic flowers, with an investment of $50,000, and the initials of it are just enough to depict how much of a success the company has achieved over the years. He didn't stop there, rather this was just the small beginning to his success story. Initially, after setting up his business, Li started indulging his interests in the real estate and started buying houses and properties with every penny that he could save. As the state of the country was unstable owing to the constant wars, he got plots and properties on huge discounted rates. Chung Kong Holdings went on to become a public limited company listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange in 1972. Today, Chung Kong is a top name when it comes to property development for residential, office, hotel and retail establishments in Hong Kong. Li was the first ever Chinese citizen to acquire stakes in one of the UK-based trading house, Hutchison Whampoa. Hutchison Whampoa was a company which owned a number of docks, shipyards and spaces for retail sales, but was not in a very good state. Li bought the company after paying just 22% of the original book price and changed the entire fate of the company within years of taking over it. As of today, the yearly turnover of the company is around $50 billion. Chung Kong Holdings Limited merged with Hutchison Whampoa on June 3, 2015 as a major reorganization coup to become CK Hutchison Holdings Limited. Chung Kong Holdings offered $24 billion worth stock to buy out Hutchison Whampoa. His next business expedition included the oil company, which was close to being bankrupt, Husky Oil. The company is a Canada-based company and was continuously losing money rather than gaining. Li and some of his friends bought half of the company for around $500 million. The timing of the purchase turned out to be the best because over the course of 30 years, the price of the barrel of oil multiplied 3 times from $10 to $30. The price kept increasing and the profits started flooding in the company. As of today, Husky Oil has a yearly turnover of $25 billion, from which Li owns about $8 billion. Li's interest didn't stay bound to just real estate and big commercial investments but also spread out to the technological sphere of business. Back in 2007, when Facebook was just a mere social media platform for college-goers, Li invested around $120 million in the company because he saw potential in it. Today his share in Facebook stands out as an estimated $900 million per year. Apart from Facebook, Li has also invested in other social media and technological platforms like that of Skype, Spotify, Waze and even Siri, which is an application owned by Apple. Li Ka-shing's next big breakthrough was when he bought the UK Power Networks in the year 2010 for an amount of $9.1 billion. This simply deciphers that he supplies power to over 8 million British people. Li, also known as Superman by his admirers, was an early investor in Zoom Video Communications Incorporated, back in 2013, and became the owner of an approximate 8.6% of the San Jose-based company, as per records of regulatory filings. The value of Li's stake moved up to an impressive 80% to $2.9 billion in 2020, as the pandemic coronavirus resulted in people working from home and using Zoom to communicate with their colleagues and staff. His investment in Zoom certainly paid off. Due to the pandemic, Li Ka-shing's fortunes did take a hit, but he is still strong with a net worth of $25.8 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. The Li Ka-shing Foundation enjoys credibility as one of the most noble charitable organizations around the world. The mild-mannered man looks upon the organization as his third child and has pledged to donate 1/3 of his assets through this organization to fund philanthropic causes. As a boy who had to give up his education, he makes sure that no one should ever encounter the same fate as his, which is why he donates the most for education. His foundation has donated over $1.9 billion to different universities and other educational institutes. As on 2019, he has donated more than $3.3 billion to charity, making him one of the most philanthropic billionaires in the world. Even after all the achievements and a net worth of more than $30 billion, Li Ka-shing remains a picture of humility. He continues to live in the same house that he has been living in for decades, in Deepwater Bay, Hong Kong Island. Of course, Deepwater Bay is now considered the wealthiest neighborhood on Earth because it houses 19 billionaires, Li Ka-shing included. The soft-spoken man lives a simple no-frilled life, for someone of his stature. Even at 91, Li Ka-shing continues to remain physically fit. He would prefer to sleep 8 hours, but if he does or doesn't get that liberty, he makes it a point to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. He adhered to a disciplined lifestyle and ensures that he does not miss 90 minutes of golf and the daily 15-minute walk on the treadmill. Two of the biggest factors in Li Ka-shing's success story has been his ability to stay ahead of trends and his solid business principles based on loyalty. When he opened the factory Chung Kong in 1950, he was one of the first people to believe that plastic would become a huge industry. He is a living example of keeping up and learning about the latest industry trends. Even though he had no educational qualification, he kept an open mind and read a lot, educating himself at every step. The same visionary zeal that Li exhibited with plastics was evident when he immersed himself in property development with the acquisition of Hutchison Whampoa in 1979. He was well ahead of Hong Kong's property boom. A fast mover, today Li's companies control 72% of port traffic, telecommunications and electric utilities in Hong Kong. He showed the same foresight when he turned out to be one of the early investors in Facebook. Li has also shown penchant for businesses that are disruptive and innovative. Li upholds loyalty and integrity highest on the list of his values. In the 50s, he declined an offer that would give him 30% additional profit on the sale of his plastic flowers, because he had made commitment to another buyer. He believes, it is better to lose money than lose respect and integrity. His philosophy in life can be summed up in the adage, it doesn't matter how strong or capable you are, if you do not have a big heart, you will not succeed. Did you find this video helpful? If yes, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and press the bell icon for new videos.